It was a disaster in Durham. Is Dabo's Dynasty done? We will talk about all that, plus your comments. As always, let's get into it here on the All Clemson Tigers radio show. Welcome into the show. I am Zach Lenz. He is Jason Priester. And we are all Duke Leos today.
I told you was gonna want that thing, man.
Exactly, yeah, it's historic. It's going right up next to my red bandana from the VC game. We have tons of comments rolling in. I promise you, we are going to get to all the comments. We are going to give you our thoughts and, basically let you drive this shit. It is a frustrating day to be a Tiger fan. It is a frustrating day if you are Dabo swing and if you are a member of that coaching staff, you have some soul searching to do. So, Jason, you're sitting there on the sideline watching these new warm-ups, a new pregame ritual, and they looked good. They were fired up. They were ready to go. And then the kickoff happened, and everything went to hell in a handbasket. So I want your initial thoughts of, what went wrong.
Yeah, new offense, still a young quarterback. Expected a couple, speed bumps along the way, but I did not expect them to run the car off the road and crash it into the ditch. And that is basically what happened. I've seen a lot of talk about how this is just the same offense with a new play caller. Yeah, I saw some differences. It's not the same offense. You got the same results. That's why it looks like the same offense. You have a quarterback that does not have very good pocket awareness. How many times last night did you tap me on the shoulder saying, look at so-and-so's wide open, so-and-so's wide open. You got a quarterback who just doesn't have great pocket awareness. Instead of stepping up into the pocket and finding somebody to fire off to, he's drifting backwards, goes to his check down man far too early, gives up on plays instead of letting them develop. A lot of growing to do still left for K. Klubnik, I think. And I expected him to be a little bit further along, to be quite honest. It was not what I expected at all. And we're just talking about the offense. We haven't even broached on the defensive side. And wrong calls a lot of the time. Thought the defense played better when they started playing some man-to-man. Thought the secondary looked better, but the linebackers didn't play well. Bad angles, missed tackles. When they did get some pressure on Riley Leonard, they weren't able to contain him, let him get outside the pocket and just torch him. So not what I was expecting at all. It was worse than just a disappointing start, man. It was brutal.
Yeah, I honestly can't think a worst start to a season since maybe the was it the Georgia shellacking in '03? I mean, yeah, at least Georgia's ranked. This was a Duke team who, you know, not taking anything away from them. They are a well coached team. I I'd like to congratulate Mike Elko on his pregnancy. I he looked like he was in his third trimester, but the fact is, this team looked like everything we had seen the previous couple of years. And I think, in, in just, broad strokes, when you look at what went wrong, I think your kicking game that we have said all season long, was a question mark that came back to haunt the Tigers. That I would say that most of his kicks are on Swanson. They were too low, and so it basically, everything that could go wrong went wrong for these Tigers. And so that takes us to our next time. And I promise we are going to get to all these comments. Y'all keep on coming. But this is a New Year insane story on offense. I mean, we didn't see the tempo that we thought we would see. We never saw the Titans get used. We never saw. I think there was one crossing route across the middle that was completed to Antonio Williams, and that was it. The offense looked stale. It looks exactly like what we have seen the previous couple of years. And honestly, if I am Streeter or DJ Udoka, I was kicked back with my legs up with a cold beer in my hand. And I was laughing my ass off last night because what you saw those guys get blamed for the previous years was exactly what happened again. I mean, yeah, they rushed for, 200 yards and threw for 200 yards, but that to me is coach talking. We are going to get to, this glass half full down. Are you still buying into him? But, that to me was, New Year's same story, and same thing for the defense. You hear all season how this defensive line was going to, you challenge that 18 classes line, and how great they were going to be, how they were going to wreak havoc, and it didn't happen. Also, linebackers, Char and Carr, they look like fifth and sixth round picks, not first round guys. In the secondary, how many times do they get torched on wheel routes or just poor positioning? Andrew Akura numerous times was burned. So I'll say it again, it's the new year. It's the exact same story on both sides of the aisle. Agree or disagree?
I thought the secondary played all right. I mean, there was some busted things. I thought they caught West in a couple bad calls, but I didn't think the secondary played terribly. I thought Makuba played mostly okay. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but the linebackers were not very good. Terrible angles. I mean, terrible. I don't know if Riley Leonard was faster than they thought he was or what, but terrible angles on that guy.
They made him look like Johnny Manziel.
And when they were getting pressure on him and getting in the backfield, they were not able to contain him, the defensive front. The ends, something we raised as a concern before the season, were not able to set the edge at all. It was not a very good effort in that regard. But on the offensive side, I saw crossing routes. I saw different routes. I saw different formations in the way plays were presented. I'm not saying I don't, I saw different things. I just saw the same results. I see a coaching staff that has no faith in its ability for its quarterback and its receivers to pick up the big chunk plays. But one of the biggest things that stood out to me was something Dabo said after the game. All offseason, in the spring, fall, we heard it more than once how he wanted his offense to get back to be an offense that attacks, that dictates the pace.
Yeah.
And he talked in his post-game presser about Duke's playing this coverage, that coverage, so we're throwing shorter passes and running the ball. That sounds an awful lot to me like what we heard last year, taking what is being given. And I don't think that's the recipe for success. I think if you want to be successful at a high level as an offense, you better have somebody that can dictate the pace. And I just don't think Klubnik's there yet, man.
Yeah. Let's start diving into some of these comments because they are coming in high and heavy. So I'll let y'all, the abbreviation. Can Dabo fix it? Yeah. I mean, if you listen to him, the post-game press conference, it sounded like we have heard before. He said, gee, this is the strangest game I've ever been a part of. If you look up and down the stat sheet and every metric, we should have won this game. But you know what? You did. And
they should have won it. They should have won an ugly game. 5 trips inside the red zone, 7 points. That's only happened 2 other times in the playoff era. Twice. That is a rare occurrence. 3 trips inside the 1, 0 points. That is just inexcusable. You got your quarterback on the 1-yard line making the wrong read on his own read, then muffing the mesh. It was just about as bad as it could have gone. This turnovers that plagued this team going back to last year. Ball security has been an issue. I know when we were at practice in the spring, they were working on different ball security drills, different than what they had used in the past. I don't know about during the fall because I was only at one, but it's not like it's not something they don't work on, but fumbling and those kind of things, it has become a big time problem going back, and special team gaffes. Add that in there too. Going back to the Notre Dame game last year, it has been a consistent problem that has plagued this team one game after another.
So, is this a coaching issue or is it a player issue?
If you look at if you go by a pure talent standpoint, like recruiting rankings, this team's top 5 in the country when it comes to talent. There should be some playmakers somewhere. You telling me they missed on every one of those guys? Not only that, and it's not like Clemson was the only big boy in pursuit of some of these guys. Most of them, all the big boys were after them. You know, I don't. I think you got a mixture of both. I think they missed on some guys. I think you got some coaching deficiencies in there. It just did not look like a very well prepared team. I don't. Maybe they went in there and overlooked this Duke team. I don't know. Maybe they're looking ahead to Florida State, but whew, man, Duke looked like the better football team. Duke looked like the more prepared team. They looked like the better coach team. There just ain't no way to sugarcoat it.
Yeah. Duke stole the Roy Russ's wheels. I mean, this is the thing. Yeah. I think the fans are getting a little not apathetic, but I think they're getting a little frustrated with this, uh, you know, glass half full down. He said last night. He said, I'm a glass half full kind of guy. We're going to get back to work. He even said that all these teams' goals are still in front of them, which I know one goal that he
And the
stated.
opener's not in front of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, winning a national title is no longer in front of them. I have never been less all in on Dabo. I think that is the way a lot of people feel. I think they are tired of the coach speak. Paul Feinbaum was on Gil this morning, and he said that the dynasty is over for Clemson. He said that the coach speak and the rhetoric, that Dabo likes to use, and his little rah messages are lost on the locker room. He said there needs to be a fresh message, and I'm sure you're gonna get that out of Dabo. We heard a player come out of the locker room who I am not going to share who it was because he was not one of the players that was made available to us. But he said, I am effing tired of losing. This is a team that has lost 3 of their last 4 games. And honestly, they looked out coached, under prepared, and just completely out of their depth last night.
But I don't know what Dabo's message to the team is inside that building. I'm not in there. I don't hear it, so I'm not speculating on it. But anybody's expecting him to come out and throw players and coaches under the bus, it just ain't going to happen. That ain't who he is. He's not going to do it. So if you're waiting on that, you're going to be waiting a long time. I'd be more interested in what the message is behind the doors. And that's just something we're not really privy to. Um, you could see some frustration last night, though, particularly what you just talked about with the player coming out of the locker room. We heard some rumblings from one player's family on the walk back to the car,
Yeah.
specifically
And
about coaching.
yeah. Yeah.
Um, so there is some unrest inside that building, and we all heard about how Dabo was spitting fire after last season, but before the change at offensive coordinator.
Heads are rolling. You better
And coach
make
put
sure
on
you.
notice. We're gonna see. We're gonna find out.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, teams have, in the past, absorbed a loss and ultimately won the championship. You can think back to 2016 and that pig game. Even go back to Florida and Tennessee. The difference is, you know, that after Clemson lost that pig game, I'll never forget sitting there and listening to Deshaun Watson. He he basically pulled a Tia and had his moment where he said, "We are not going to lose again. We are going to win the rest of the game, and nothing is going to stop us." I don't think that that this team has that type of lyric quarterback.
You know, Klubnik said something very similar last night. I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but it was something about he referenced the 2016 team, talking about how they lost one, went on to win, and this is going to be a sweet story when it's over. Um, this team don't even need to be thinking about national championship, much less talking about it right now. They need to be worrying about Charleston Southern. um, there's a lot of issues they need to work on. They are correctable. A lot of them are correctable, but there are a lot of issues they need to get straightened out here in the next 2 weeks. Obviously, Charleston Southern's not going to present much of a challenge, but if you play the kind of football you played last night against a team like even Florida Atlantic, find you some
Yeah,
dogfight, man. I mean, you
yeah.
cannot continuously shoot yourself in the foot one drive after another, after another, after another, and expect to win.
Well, Dabo last night, it was like this team, stopped shooting themselves in the foot and just, decided to take a shotgun and blow off both legs.
Yeah, it was hard to watch. Usually I'll come home after a game and turn on the broadcast and watch it again and see what I missed, but that thing was hard enough to watch live. I'm not watching that broadcast. Forget it.
No, no, there was nothing good about it. Dow is going to try and spin this as a one like that. This team is, I mean, they're ranked, I think, 21st in one of them and last in the other. So this is nowhere close to a playoff team. I completely agree. You picked the wrong weekend to quit drinking. If I was you, I made sure that I started back before the FSU game. Yeah, this is something that, we hit on last night, seeing in the press box was where was Jake Green still? We heard all season how he was a nightmare for opposing defenses, how he was going to cause all kinds of issues in matchups, and he was nowhere to be seen. Say Janice was in the game, he was nowhere. I mean, it was like everything that we had heard leading into this game just completely got thrown out the window.
Well, when your quarterback is routinely looking for the running back coming out of the backfield, you ain't going to get the tight end very involved. I'd be interested to know, exactly how many passes were called to go downfield and Klubnik checked down on, because it looked like he checked down on a bunch to me.
Yeah.
I might be wrong about that. That's what it felt like watching live. It looked like he checked down on a bunch, and it looked like he checked down on a bunch, you know, quick. But Brennan still was lined up out wide, running routes a lot. If you go back to Riley's offenses at TCU or Riley's offense at TCU last year, tight end was heavily involved. But I'll add this. Something I've not heard mentioned today. When Streeter was hired, there was all this hand wringing about how he wasn't experienced and whatever. And he has 6 years of experience calling plays, 2 different schools, and those are fairly successful offenses. Riley's only been doing it for 3, and all 3 of those seasons have come under Sonny Dykes. He don't have Sonny Dykes to lean on anymore. Maybe that's something worth discussing.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Yeah, last night, as we were exiting the stadium, you have joked, maybe Riley is going to be at Clemson a little longer than people expect.
Yeah. After last night, maybe he's not going in 2 years for a head coaching job.
Yeah.
We shall see. But
Yeah.
that's not the game you want on your resume there.
No, it's not. And as far as clubbing, the lack of development. I mean, you saw the exact same stuff that you saw against Tennessee in last night's game. You saw a quarterback with heavy feet who, was quick to uh, drop back in the pocket rather than step up. And you also saw a quarterback who looked to check the ball down too quick. I mean, obviously, that's why I say Streeter was probably kicked back last night laughing his ass off, going, y'all are blaming me for all this stuff, and here you are in the same place. I mean, Gary Riley supposedly, has a greater part of these QEs, but not a thing of that matters when your quarterback looks like he was, a true freshman.
The game looks too fast for Klubnik still, in my opinion. I'm not sure that's anybody's fault. I don't know if that's Streeter's fault, Riley's fault. I mean, maybe it's just the fact that he ain't there yet. Maybe he just needs more time, more experience, more reps, more actual live reps. Um, People are seeing now why he was not inserted into the lineup quicker last year. He wasn't ready. Maybe he's not as ready as they need him to be now, and he's going to have some growing pains while he grows on the field. I think that's an answer we don't know. A question we don't have the answer to yet.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. That the game looks like it's too fast. It all you have to do is look at Trevor Lawrence's freshman year, how slow everything looked to him, how he had the uh, poise in the pocket to wait until the last second that receiver is going to break open. And you look at K and you're like, he definitely doesn't have that. I saw a tweet last night that I share in our private messaging app there was a photo of who was it? Oh hell! Oh, it was Bush Jones at Tennessee, and it said Dabo swing without a generational quarterback, and so this is something that he is going to have to address. I mean, is Cody the guy? Obviously, he is. I mean, but the lack of development is very concerning.
Klubnik's got to be the guy. You don't have anybody else. Um, it's just that's just facts. If you think Klubnik's not ready, wait till Vizina's got some growing to do too. Um, I think that was evidence in the spring game.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys need longer than others. You know, if you'd have told me a year ago that Klubnik was going to still look like this as a sophomore, I'd have never believed it. You know, it's just you don't see any glimpses of it in this high school film. But there's a big jump from high school to college, and some guys take longer than others.
Here's the question though: will fans give him the opportunity to grow up?
No,
Or
I've already seen it today. They want Vizina already. I've seen it all over Facebook, man. They 2 starts and they are calling for Vizina. I have seen it from over a dozen people already. It's just gonna if he struggles, he keeps on struggling. You're gonna see it more and more.
I agree. And Bray Evans gets in, says the D line looks like crap. Other than T.J. Parker.
Man, I disagree with that. I thought Peter Woods was every bit as advertised last night. I thought he was wreaking havoc. I mean, he might not show up in the box score, might not show up as any sacks or anything, but T.J. Parker was the best defensive end on the field, in my opinion, from a production standpoint. But man, Peter Woods looked really good too.
Yes, he did. Yeah, I agree with this. There are numerous times where the line had pressure with, just the 4 guys, and they let Leonard get out in space. I don't think he is too slippery or too strong. I think some of that is, as soon as the line gets that push, the linebackers have to be ready to step in and fill those gaps. And her angles by Carter and Trotter, I think that was as much to Leonard's, running last night as it was his, on the D line.
There were a couple times, one of them on the long touchdown run, where there was a defensive lineman had him in his arms and he got away. That's that can't happen, man. If you've got a hold of him, you got to bring him down. And it was one of those back breaking touchdowns. It was the long touchdown run. I can't remember which one. One of those defensive ends had him. I think it was one of the ends. Had him in his arms and could not bring him down. But yeah, those linebackers were not very good in tackling last night, and they took some poor angles for sure. More Carter in particular.
Yeah. Ted Jackson gets in and says Clemson's time as a leave her is officially over. That is kind of where I wanted to go with the CFP talk. Heather Dinich, who is ESPN's playoff guru, said that there is still a path due to Clemson's schedule. Playing FSU uh, and Notre Dame. I mean, that they could get back in the conversation. She also said that no team that has lost in week 1 has ever made the playoff. So, you know, that was shocking to me. And I get an email every week from team rankings, and they give a uh, let me see here. They give a uh, prediction for the final record of the season, and it changes game by game. After the loss to Duke, Clemson is now projected at 7-5, far in front of the ACC. It says, based on our projections, the Tigers will most likely finish the regular season with a record between 8-4 and 6-6. They went from being favored in every game to now they have a 27% chance of beating FSU, 54% of beating Syracuse, 49 of beating Wake Forest, a 37% of beating Notre Dame, and a 55% of beating UNC. That is a far cry from where these projections are just a week ago.
Yeah, I don't know if Clemson's time as an elite program is officially over. We'll see. It might be. I tell you what, if it is, there's going to be a bunch of Clemson fans that didn't take the time to take a step back and enjoy what was happening in the moment. Always worried about tomorrow and where things were going next year, the year after that. Definitely not enough fans that didn't embrace it while it was going on. I have no idea how many games Clemson's going to win. That number's going to change again next week. I can see it go. I can see it being anywhere from 7-5 to 10-2. I don't believe they are as bad as they looked last night, and I don't believe they're as good as they were made out to be coming out of fall. Truth lies somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, and the reality is that you're still looking at playing, a top 3 FSU team, a top 20 UNC team, and a top 13 right now Notre Dame team. So there are opportunities to at least get yourself back in the conversation. This weekend loss, I know the saying is it's best to lose early. I'm sure losing 28-7 to Duke your first game is the way to do it. I think if that was going to happen, you're looking more at losing to FSU than you are to Duke.
Clemson's got one path to the playoff, period. You got to win out. That's the only path. If you drop another game, you're out. No 2-loss teams ever made the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't but one path. You're going to have to win the rest of your games, and that's the only way in. And based on what I seen last night, Clemson's not going to win the rest of their games.
Wes needs to go. Just his opinion. Everyone has one. He is a joke. Look, I never call for coaches to be fired. That is something I will never do. These are guys that have families and their livelihoods. If you think that they're out there trying to screw things up, you know, intentionally, you're wrong. Wes isn't. I think he is still green. I think that last year was a growing chance for him. I think this year he showed. Look, honestly, if you want to get down to the nuts and bolts of that game, the defense gave up really, I think, when you say 13 of the 28.
The defense gave them an opportunity to win. It's still not where I think it should be. You know, to me, the worst spot on the defense was the linebackers, and that's the position Wes coaches. I expect more from this defense this year than what we got last year. I'm not sitting here saying anybody needs to be fired, especially after one game. Um, we're talking about a Clemson defense that ranked in the top 30 last year, and there's a lot of other teams that wish they'd be sitting in that spot. No, it's not what you got under Brent Venables, but I don't know if it's a fireable offense. And I keep seeing people say he don't get the team fired up, that kind of stuff. No, he's not that guy. But I'm also of the opinion that you shouldn't have to rely on your coach to bring the fire. You ought to have guys on that side of the ball that ought to bring the fire themselves.
Yeah, this is exactly what you're talking about. I mean, in our pre-show Friday, you said that the clip that you liked of us was him saying that he is who he is. He is not going to be a yell at the guys kind of guy. You know what? Guys like Rook, guys like Tyler Davis, guys like Carr, guys like Char, guys like Akua. Those are the guys that should light a fire under the D. A lot of times it has to come from the players. And I think that, they had some of that last night, but not enough.
You got 3 fifth-year seniors on that defensive line, and Rook, who's been around a long time. You ought to be able to bring those guys ought to be able to bring the fire. I don't think you should have to rely on Wes for that. But at the same time, I didn't think it was one of his best games from a play calling perspective either. They got caught in bad spots on at least one of those wheel routes, maybe both of them. We'll see what happens from here on out.
Yeah, this is interesting because this is a comment that we have had a lot in the chat. Yeah, Tyler Grisham. Yeah, and this wide receiver group. I mean, talent's there. I mean, like you said earlier, look at the stars. Look at the guys that are the other teams that are recruiting these guys. The talent is there. So why are there still drops? Why is there still no blocking? Yeah. Dabo, every single practice you see or that we have access to, you see him over there coaching at the White House, going over, technique and stuff. So, I ask you, why is it still so bad?
Hey, I can't answer that. I have no idea. I'd love to know the answer to that question because I don't really think it's a talent problem either. I watched Adam Randall play last night. He just does not resemble the same dude I saw in high school, man, at all. It's I mean,
Yeah.
Cole Turner starting over him. That 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 something I don't know. Something's off there. I like Cole Turner. I think he's a nice complimentary piece. But if he is your starting guy on the outside, you, you, you know that might be a problem because I don't think he's that guy that's going to go out there and consistently stretch the field and get you 7, 8, 9 catches for $120 or whatever. He might do it every now and then, but not consistently. I don't even think he's that physically developed yet. And relying on Antonio Williams to be the top dog out of the slot, that's not going to do it either. They need more from Bo Collins. They need the Adam Randall that they recruited. They need him to be who they recruited him to be. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if he's banged up or what, but he does not look like the same guy. But you still got some wide receiver issues. And if you look at it from just who's on the roster, you can't say they missed on every one of those guys. I mean, that's almost statistically impossible.
Yeah. Not only do you have wide receiver issues, you have left tackle issues. Tristan Lee, his ankles are so taped up last night that I don't know how he could move. And, he was constantly being rotated out. Kate came up so high, he seen rushed now. Yeah. I don't think anyone is, at least on our side, is panicking. I think we just now, after one game, have a clear idea of who this team is. They are a team with special teams issues, with wide receiver issues, with defensive line issues. And so I think that is, nobody is panicking yet. I think that it's like everyone likes to say, you are who you are on film. And after one game, Clemson is not a good team.
I didn't think the offensive line played too terribly bad last night.
No, they gave.
I thought it looked a little worse than maybe it was at times, due to the fact that K drifts back instead of stepping up into the pocket where we're up into a clean pocket. He drifts back to where guys are being blocked into him, kind of, in a way, I guess is a way to say that. He's supposed to step up into the pocket. And I only saw him do that one time last night. He stepped up into the pocket and he fired a dart. And I want to say it was the one pass Brenny Stool caught, but I can't remember for sure if it was him or not. But it went for about 10 yards. It wasn't even a down the field throw, but at least he stepped up into the pocket. That's what I want to see more of, him stepping up into the pocket, scanning the field instead of bailing out and looking for your check down so soon.
Yeah, I think the reason I chose this comment is because the expectations. We heard all season, what was the goal, Jason?
National title.
Yeah, I mean, offense, defense, coaches, everyone was talking national title, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they respond. Because right now, that goal is so far gone, it can't even be seen. So it's going to be very interesting if they can, with that kind of weight off their shoulder, if they can just go out and play off. I can't imagine Garrett Riley was thrilled last night. And, I heard, Dabo said that, Riley was just as frustrated as he was. Well, yeah, that's fine. Ultimately, these guys need to just go play.
Yeah, learning how to finish is a big part of what this team needs to do. They have struggled to finish in this game. They struggled to finish against Tennessee. They struggled to finish somewhat to a degree against South Carolina. But it's been painfully evident in the past two games, Tennessee and this one. You can't have 3 trips to the 1 yard line and come away with no points. You just can't have it.
Well, you can. I mean, Clemson did it last night.
Not if you want to win. I mean, you can't do it if you want to win. You're not gonna win very many games doing that. Again, we talked about 5 trips inside the red zone, 7 points. Only happened 2 other times in the playoff era. I think that tells the story. You get to the 1 yard line. What was it? 2 fumbles on the one and the missed field goal.
Yeah.
And blocked field goal. We were worried about the field goal kicking, and it's definitely a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Todd Teal gets in and says it's like they're playing too conservatively and worrying about making mistakes. I can kind of see that. At the same time, when you're a coach and you're looking at your guys and you're like, who can I trust? I mean, they ride Shipley and Alpha to the 1 yard line and Alpha fumbles. I mean, to me, I think that this coaching staff was doing everything they could to win the game, and it just kept getting screwed up.
Yeah, I got the feeling at times, that they were playing not to lose. Playing and something I got a feeling, same feeling last year and the year before last, kind of playing more not to lose rather than going for somebody's throat. But again, I think that kind of at least partly goes back to this staff maybe not having that much confidence in the quarterback and the wide receivers to pick up those chunk plays. And when you can't pick up chunk plays, you got to rely on long, drives, 7, 8, 9, 10 play drives. And when you can't put those together, it's going to be trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting into Todd's statement, the kicker seemed to be off speed in his motion. We saw him in pregame miss how many?
He missed a couple of the first ones, and then he come back and started hitting them. The further back he went, the more accurate he got. So, it's different. It's different.
Now, there is no rush or anything like that. And Dabo said those are all on him because he said they were too low. Honestly, that second kick, I wasn't even sure it was blocked.
I wasn't either because it was so low.
Yeah, it looked like it was just a terrible kick.
I'm not sure it was going in had it not been tipped.
Yeah, I agree.
The loss of Liam Boyd might be looming large.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Exactly, yeah. There's another guy that could have been sitting back yesterday smiling. James, I think we are all there with you, brother. I mean, yeah. After one game, it seems like it's all over. The thing is, though, there's still 11 more guaranteed. And in 3 weeks, you get arguably the hottest team in the country coming in. I mean, FSU, after what they did to LSU, I mean, they are a scary team. Jordan Travis looks like, who I picked for the player of the year. And there is still time to get this fixed, get this, under control. There are a lot of issues on this team. And we aren't here to sugarcoat it. We are calling it exactly like we see it. You there are issues on this team that are, I think, are uh, prevalent than what we are led to believe.
Yep, this team has a lot of things to clean up, over the next couple of weeks. Otherwise, they're going to get boat raced when Florida State comes to town.
Yeah. Chris O'Connor says he doesn't trust Dabo to fix this. Well, yeah, he has shown in the past that he is going to fix it. Whether that is this year or next, then we'll have to see.
Hey, you either trust Dabo or you don't at this point. We'll see if he can get it fixed. It's hard to. It ain't like you can go out and hire a new coaching staff in the middle of the season. You just got to let things play out and see what happens.
Here's the issue with this, okay? You are already getting ready to move to 16, 17, 18 games when the playoffs expand. So there is no way that coaches or the NCAA will approve preseason games. Then you're talking, 20 games for some teams. That is too many. I think the scrimmages are great, but Jason is having a light show in his office.
Somebody's shooting a gun outside my house, and my dog's over here freaking out. She's all over the cords down here.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, John Gibson says you can't rate the portal in the middle of the season either. You got what you got, and that is the fact.
And
the issue is Dow going to change up his belief in using the portal after this season?
Look, I know for a fact that Clemson had every intention on using the portal after last season. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Multiple positions. I think the plan was take up 3-4 guys. You start getting all these guys like Tyler Davis, Rook, Jalen Phillips, R.J. Mickens, all those guys. A lot of them they thought were gone start to come back, start taking up all those scholarship spots. All of a sudden, all those guys you've reached out to in the portal, that's over with, quick like. Dabo tried to address the offensive line in the portal after the 2021 season. It took him a little while to get there, but I think he has embraced the idea already of going to the portal. There's this narrative out there among this fan base that he refuses to use the portal, and it just isn't true, man. Yes, he's always going to prefer taking the high school kid over the portal kid. I think the only time you're going to see him use portal kids is to fill gaps. And I think were a couple gaps on this team that could have benefited from having a graduate transfer in place at receiver, defensive end. Receiver is a spot that I am, you know, very confident saying they were looking to address in the portal before the season. Never did confirm that defensive end was one, but have been told it was. Offensive line was another one. Cornerback was another one. So I mean, it's not like he's out here refusing to use it. He's never going to go out and sign 10 transfers a class. But I do think you're going to start seeing him use it to fill some gaps. But if you don't have the scholarships, you can't use it, and that's just the way it happened this year. I know we got people out there that want to see him start yanking scholarships. You got 3 walk-ons on roster right now currently. 3 former walk-ons currently on scholarship. You got people wanting him to yank scholarships from them so he can go get portal guys. He ain't doing that, man. If that's something you want, Dabo's never going to do that. They want to see him yanking scholarship offers from high school prospects late in the recruiting cycle so he can go take a transfer. That ain't ever going to happen. Dabo's never going to yank an offer from a kid because he thinks he can go find somebody better. If he yanks an offer from a kid, it's going to be, a behavioral type deal. And you might not ever hear about it. It's just he's not going to do those type of things. I've been told 10 times today that Dabo shouldn't have offered so-and-so in the 2023 class. He shouldn't have offered this kid or taking these walk-ons. There's 3 former walk-ons that are on scholarship currently. Same ones that were on scholarship last year. One of them's your third-string running back. One of them's your backup quarterback. And one of them's your long snapper. You don't want to lose those guys. None of them. That's a quick way to lose them if you start yanking scholarships, and it's a quick way to build. It's a quick way to kill your recruiting pitch on the trail too, because it's something you have built this program on, being transparent, telling kids exactly where they stand and those kind of things, and ensuring them that you're not going to give their spot away. If you start doing those kind of things, you turn into exactly the program that you have made fun of for the past decade and mocked.
Yeah. If you are wanting to do that stuff, there is a team in Colorado that is doing it and doing it well, that you can jump on their bandwagon. That is never going to be a guy to yank scholarships like you said, unless it is something egregious, some kind of behavior, academics, or something like that. I hate that we couldn't get to everyone's comments. There are tons of them. Today, lots of frustration, and rightfully so. The thing is, you have 3 days, and then you get to tee up again. Do us a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, and like button, and leave a comment. It helps us out. Let's see, did you have one there, Jason?
I didn't mean to do that, but since I did, it just says I was trying to scroll up and hit it by accident, but it says I feel like Dabo still has his finger on the playbook. Something's bad wrong with our program. Don't know exactly what it is. Development is part of it. Cade doesn't step up in the pocket. Garrett Riley called the plays last night.
Yeah.
The head coach is going to have some input probably from time to time. Garrett Riley called the plays.
Yeah, I have heard the same thing, today, and I can tell you 100% unequivocally, Garrett Riley called the plays last night. the head coach has input on fourth down and I think third down, some situation. Garrett Riley called that game, and it was all him. So
Yeah, I know some people think because he's got the play sheet in his hand and a headset on that he's calling plays, but that was all Garrett Riley last night.
yeah, yeah. Thank you, Ty, for joining us. And listen, we are going to be back here again tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, for another edition. If you're still griping, if you're still angry, we want to hear from you. If you're ready to move on to Charleston Southern, we can do that too. We'll hear from some players tomorrow, as well as Dabo after the Tigers have practice. So, Jason, any bad luck troubles that you'd like to share?
Car's back in the shop. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So we were jumping on a call for work, prior to the show, and Jason was actually kicked out of the auto shop because they were closed. So he was walking down the side of the road on this call, saying that he was waiting on his daughter to come get him.
Yeah, that fella at the place said, "You need me to take you somewhere?" I said, "Take me to Timminsville." And he looked at me like I was crazy. I said, "Man, I'll just leave when y'all lock up and start walking down the road." She thought the place has moved. It used to be in a different place, so she went to the wrong place and thought somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, so the trials and tribulations of Jason's car continue. It is always a good day when we get to sit here and talk football, even after a loss. I appreciate everyone joining us. Also, keep writing your thoughts and prayers. He found out today that he is battling COVID. So I think, when he was making out with Jason a couple of weeks ago, they spread it to each other.
I hear you. I just hope he don't have it as bad as I did because it was not fun.
Exactly. Yeah. For Jason, I am Zach. We will be back tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Mark your calendars and join us on the Clemson Tigers radio show.